Witness News is your vaccine authority, and it's time right now to answer some more of your questions about the coronavirus and, of course, the vaccine. We have been doing this every day for days now with doctors and specialists. And this afternoon, we are joined by Josh Geballe, Governor Ned Lamont's Chief Operating Officer. Josh, thank you very much for taking a few minutes to talk with us today. We appreciate it.
Good afternoon.
So as I said, we get a lot of questions from everybody, so I want to get right to the first one right here. If your age group comes up, can you decide to actually give up your shot and give your space to someone else?
Great question. No, the answer is no. The eligibility is not transferable to other people, but as the governor announced earlier this week, we've got dates laid out now over the next 2 months, so you can know pretty much exactly when everyone's going to have a chance to get vaccine. And in all cases, we're getting really close to the point where everyone who wants a vaccine will be able to get one.
Now, on that theme, before I get to the next question from the viewer, let me ask you, because obviously this age plan was a big story this week, and some folks have come out and they're asking the governor, and obviously got a response from the White House yesterday. Is there any chance that you guys will rethink this age plan? We've had that question from a lot of people over the past few days.
No, we're really committed to this plan, Mark. We think this is the best way to get people vaccinated as quickly as possible, focusing on the people who are most at risk, and that correlates most closely across everyone to their age. And so working backwards by age gives us the best chance to quickly reduce severe illness and death, and also to ensure equity in how we're distributing the vaccine. That correlation with age is true for all races and ethnicities. It also helps us avoid a very complicated eligibility process we would have needed that would frankly have made it more confusing and hard for people who don't have a lot of resources to figure out how to get appointments and how to get to the front of the line.
Now, our last question right here is coming from Linda Root in Summers. She wants to know, if a Connecticut resident teaches across the border in Massachusetts, are they still eligible to receive the vaccine here in Connecticut? Because what I understand, the teachers coming up on Monday here in Connecticut can start getting their shots.
Well, you will vaccinate in Connecticut anybody who lives or works in Connecticut who is otherwise eligible because of either their age, if they're 65 or older as of today, or 55 or older as of Monday. We have reciprocal agreements with our neighboring states. So if you're 55 and older in Connecticut, obviously, if you work somewhere else, you can still get vaccinated here. If you are not eligible yet based on your age in Connecticut and you work in another state, it would depend on what their eligibility is in that state.
And before we let you go, I just want to ask you, Josh, obviously these are states that are all close together. And the governor mentioned earlier this week that there was talk already about maybe lifting some of the travel restrictions with Mass or Rhode Island. Do you anticipate anything changing anytime soon?
Well, we all still need to be careful, right? COVID is still circulating around the country. You mentioned earlier, new variants are popping up. So we still really encourage people to be very careful, stick home, close to home if they can. But, the good news that is emerging is that once you're fully vaccinated, even if you have exposure to someone, you don't have to quarantine anymore. It's one of the great benefits of these vaccines. One of the reasons we prioritize schools also to help keep schools open so our educators wouldn't have to quarantine. So we're going to look to probably roll that through the travel advisory at some point here, but no other major changes right now.
Okay. Josh, we could talk to you all afternoon. So many questions coming in. You've been on TV a lot, though, for the past year. I'm sure you're looking forward to the day you don't have to do this anymore.
No, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me on, Mark.
We'll see you soon, Josh.